Hello, my name is Tom Miller and I'm a Solution Specialist with Blue Thread Technologies. In this video you will see how you can use StoragePoint and the EMC Atmos adapter to externalize SharePoint content to the EMC Atmos cloud. We're going to be talking about three main topics today. First, we're going to take a look at the configuration of a storage profile. Storage profile is what defines where content will go from your SharePoint site. The next thing we'll talk about is working with content. How does an end user work with content? Basically, we'll upload content using the native interface, using an Office client, and using WebDAV to map a network drive. The point being is that it does not affect the end user's processes at all. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the automatic promotion of metadata to the Atmos cloud. Metadata is promoted from the SharePoint document libraries. It's actually kept in sync so that if you make a change within the SharePoint library, it will be reflected into the cloud platform. With that, let's take a look at a demonstration. In order to externalize content to the EMC Atmos cloud, you will need to have StoragePoint with the EMC Atmos adapter installed on your SharePoint farm, as well as an EMC Atmos Online account. You also need the user ID and key available from that account. All configuration is done within SharePoint Central Admin under the Storage Profiles option. Let's take a look at a storage profile that I've already set up for the EMC Atmos cloud. The main thing to note here is the connection string. You can see the user ID parameter as well as the key, and an additional parameter called root. This is the folder that will host the content within the EMC Atmos cloud. I can click Test Storage Settings to verify that everything is configured correctly, and we can see that the test was indeed successful. One more thing I'd like to show before we get started externalizing content is the client that we'll be using to view the files on the cloud. You can see my folder that was set up from the storage profile, and you can also see that there is no content within this folder right now. Now let's take a look at a document library. From an end user perspective, nothing changes. I can still work within the SharePoint native web interface just as I would normally. I'll just grab some sample documents and upload them through this web interface. And we can see that as soon as these get saved to the document library, they are also immediately externalized to the EMC Atmos cloud. So I can see I have two new documents in my document library. If I go over to my cloud application and click refresh, I also have two documents available to me as well. I can also work within Office applications or using the native Office integration, and there's no impact to the end user. So if I create a new Word document and paste some sample text into here and save this back to my document library, we can see that this process has not changed and there was no additional steps needed. As this gets saved to the document library, again it gets externalized to the EMC Atmos cloud, and I have an additional object there as well. Lastly, I'd like to show an example with a mapped network drive using WebDAV. So if I look again, I have a drive mapped to my shared documents library, and I can just drag and drop files into this as well, and this will get externalized and uploaded to the EMC cloud. If I go refresh my cloud, I can see that I have 4 objects there. I refresh my SharePoint document library. Just as expected, I see the additional file available. If I go ahead and open from the Explorer, it just pops up. There was no redirect or anything like that. Same thing happens from within the browser itself. I'd also like to show an example using the metadata that's available. So if I go back into my EMC Explorer application, I can see all of the metadata has been externalized and promoted to the cloud as well. So if I go in and even create something like a new column, we'll just call this test, we can see that we can keep the metadata in sync. So let's go edit the properties of this frog document, and we'll just add some new text into this property. And now we've got the metadata that's been updated on the SharePoint library. If I go back and I refresh this and click on here, see, let me just click off and click back on. We can see that I also have my test property available for this frog document. This concludes our video demonstration. For more information, you can go to www.storagepoint.com. Thank you for watching.